Hello, and welcome to the Life Strategy Show. I'm your host, Maxine Pearl Phillips. I'm also the founder and CEO of Level Less, where we empower adults in transition and our students in high school and college. It's all about them creating their career that they want, getting the salary that they desire, and living the lifestyle that they deserve. So thank you, Mark, our producer, and thank Pod TV. We're on Roku, we're on Amazon Live, and we are in over 200 countries. That's right. But here on the Life Strategy Show, I am thrilled to bring to you a series of inspirational speakers. I'm talking about authors, entrepreneurs. I'm talking about those who have put life strategies in place, and they're coming here to share them with us. There are individuals out there who could be stuck, who might want to know how to move forward. But we have a treat for you this evening. We have the principal of Plan to Prosper, the show, but her name is Sharon Campbell. Sharon is the principal of Sharon Campbell Solutions Group. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to tag someone and let them know that Sharon is here this evening. She has a wealth of information she's going to be sharing with us. Listen, not only does she have her own show, but she also has so many different certifications that we're going to talk about, and she's going to help us get unstuck. So help me welcome, with a round of applause, Sharon Campbell. Come on down, Sharon. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, Maxine. It is an honor and a pleasure to join you this Monday afternoon. I follow your show. I love the speakers that you have. The content, always I'm able to use it and share it with my clients. So I want to thank you for all what you are doing. Strategies is so very important. And when you don't have them, you are stuck.
That's right. And listen, you are the lady of the evening because you're going to help us become unstuck. I love that. I love that topic that we're going to be talking about, Sharon. But you know what? I gave just a tidbit of information about you, but I know there's some other burning things that you want to tell the audience that you do. So why don't you share those with us right now?
Oh, thank you so very much, Maxine. I am Sharon Campbell, of Sharon Campbell Solution Group. I also have Plan to Prosper podcast show that's at 7 p.m. every Tuesday, right after Maxine on Monday on the same station, Pod TV. And we work with entrepreneurs, business owners, 9 to 5, hobbyists, nonprofits. Let us not forget our nonprofits, because nonprofits are in the business of making money. And so we always remind people that a nonprofit is just like a business. We work with you, have 5 different certifications. We provide business and entrepreneurship, nonprofit development and management, LEAD, which is women in leadership, IDEAL, and inclusion, diversity, equity, and equality. Those two need to be together, and advocacy. You must be able to do that in your business, and entrepreneurship in the ministry. We have been in business for over 15 years, and we have been thriving, working with HBCUs, businesses, government agencies, nonprofit. And it is always an honor, I tell people, whenever the light bulb come on and people are not stuck. And that's why we've been doing 4 segments of getting past stuck. The first was about building the foundation. It was 4 weeks. All we did was talk about how do you build a foundation. The second 4 weeks, it was about implementation. And our last 4 weeks is this month, and it is about execution. And so this is perfect in line with what your organization, your company provide, because how do you live the lifestyle you want if you're stuck?
That's right. That's right. And even how are you going to get the salary that you desire if you're stuck? Let's know trying to live the lifestyle that you deserve. So I love the fact, Sharon, that you're coming on here and you're helping us and helping the audience and helping the viewing. You listen, worldwide, this is international. We're in over 200 countries. So there's no reason for you not to tag someone to let them know what's going on this evening. We're talking about getting unstuck, and you can get unstuck in so many different areas in your life. But Sharon and I, we're going to be talking about the career. You hear Sharon talk about the different certifications that she offers. And of course, I offer certifications too when it comes to career assessment. So we can also, talk about that a little bit. But Sharon, what do you have for us this evening when it comes to strategies and getting unstuck? What would be the first strategy you'd like to share?
Admit that you stuck and need help.
Come on now.
Because so often we stay stuck in one place trying to figure it out ourselves. And we end up just trying to Google this, trying to Google that. And we spend so much time on technology besides reaching out to people that is an expert, seasoned in that field. And I tell you, it's so very important that you reach out to someone. Google is great. Google Linear is fine. Whether there's AI is great, but it's only technology.
That's right.
You want to have a human approach to this to get past stuff, because that technology can't talk to you, Maxine. It's not personal.
That's right. There you go. That's the part, because they do have it where they can talk. But the thing about it is not that personal one-on-one. It's not that individual who's sitting there listening to what you have to say, and that empathy, that compassion, all those feelings that you're feeling, they can hear, they can see it, they can witness it as you're talking to them. And, let's not take anything from AI. We know it has its advancements and it's here, but you still need the human touch. You still need the human interaction. I agree with you 100%.
And I tell people that's the first thing, is to admit you are stuck.
Right.
And you can move anywhere, any place, once you admit that. So that's the first step. And then once you do, it's okay to make mistakes along the way. See, a mistake is not a failure. It's an opportunity for greatness.
Okay, wait a minute. Just hold it up a minute. Listen, she just gave you a platinum nugget. Did you write it down? Get unstuck is the very first thing, is to do what? Admit that you need help. Reach out. Don't sit there and be going through circles and not knowing how to move forward. The whole objective of everything that we do here on the Life Strategy Show is for strategies you put in place so that you can move forward and do and be who you're called to be and do. All right, Sharon. So let's go to number 2. So number two is,
you're not going to believe this. Right. We are so quick to say we have it up here. We don't have it down on a piece of paper. Once you put it on paper and you see it, you feel it, and you look at it, now you can start planning it. So whether you put on paper or technology on the computer, you got to get this out of your head somewhere.
Yeah.
And that is called working on your business, and not continue being stuck working in your business. So number 2 is you need to work on your business, and that requires you to put something down, because the goal is, you say, I want this type of lifestyle. Where if you haven't placed it on a piece of paper or on the computer, haven't typed out and haven't put in the strategies, then how are you going to get there, Maxine? How are you going to get it?
Now, listen, you're talking to the choir right now, Miss Sharon. You talking about strategies. I think I started writing strategies when I was about 11 years old in my diary. And sometime when I didn't have the diary with me, I wrote it on a piece of paper and put it in my Bible. But that's a strategy. It's a strategy and it's a goal. And Sharon, before I knew it, I had already accomplished them. So writing it down is so critical, like what you just said. And the other thing about writing it down, if I'm not mistaken, Sharon, is a part of journaling. And journaling, you can have a career journal. Hello.
Yes.
You can have a gratitude journal. So there's so many different ways you can journal.
Yes.
And I know we're talking about writing. So some people love to write. I'm a visual learner, so I love to write. But then there's some people who want to talk it through. So you can you can record it. That's a part of journaling too. And then let another AI system type it up for you. We have the technology here, so we might as well use it.
You might as well use it, Maxine. I'm always working with my clients and ask them, what is it that you really truly want out of life? And they says, I want to be a millionaire. Everybody want to be a millionaire. I don't know why they get stuck that $1 million going to make them that. Over your lifetime, you probably have made more than $1 million.
More than that. Yeah.
And you
Exactly.
have to look back at what do you do with the first million? You want this other million. So I'm
Yeah.
like, come on now. But I think about people and I say, you know what, that's because they stuck. They have not taken the time to write their vision, their mission, their goals, their objective, their strategies, how they're going to get there. But then they get off track and start chasing something that was never written or that was written that they got away from.
Hmm.
So most of our $1 million ideas is already on paper. We just took a detour, or we just felt, oh, I'm just gonna write it, and then we like get tired of it, but we never follow through. And so strategy number 3, you must execute and follow through
Right.
what
Right.
you put down. So you build a foundation by admitting it.
Right.
Implementation is you put it down. Okay, now you need to execute it. Because the goal is that lifestyle, that desire, what gets you up and why you're not moving there. Now, instant gratification is not going to happen
Right.
unless you win the lotto. And I tell people, look how much money you got to spend, and look at the chances of you winning. So I think I'll spend more of my time building it and getting there. And so let's talk about the implementation. But if you haven't created anything, how do you expect to get there?
Yes, that's true.
Not going to
Wait,
happen.
wait, 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 wait. You
You're
gotta say
chasing the dollar.
you have to say that again because I don't know if they caught that platinum nugget right there. That's worth repeating, Sharon.
I'm telling you, if you have not put it down, I tell people you're just chasing dollars that's invisible because you never get it. You always chase it. You're like, well, I've been writing proposals, I've been writing this, but the reason you have not been awarded, it wasn't clear and it didn't line up. All you saw was a $50,000 contract, and you thought that you could go to AI to help them craft you something. You thought you can do this, but it wasn't authentic. It wasn't what you do, and therefore you didn't get the award. Now look at all the time you have wasted.
And you know what? It brings it back to that very, very first part of the conversation. It wasn't personalized.
It wasn't.
A personal touch was missing. AI, don't get us wrong. We do know that they do give a nice information. It brings it
Yes.
out in more than less than 30 seconds, but you still have to go in there and internalize it, personalize it, customize it in order for it to match and meet those visions and mission and goals that you're talking about, Sharon. 100% agree with that.
And that's why I like your assessment, because it aligns with getting past you say your first one's about your desire, correct? Okay, so tell us about that. So we're gonna show
But you know, the thing about
the countries how they get past stuff.
exactly. So one of the ways of getting past stuck is, first of all, you need to know who you are from your core.
Right.
You need to know what you can do, what your natural everyday abilities that you do and nobody had to teach them to you, and what are your strengths. Once you understand that, then we help you this assessment helps you to talk about, define what success means to you. What does it look like? You talked about writing it down. This is a time to write your statement, your vision and your mission statement on what success looks like. And I'm not just talking about today. I'm talking about futuristic as well. What do you want to be known for in your life, the legacy that you are going to leave?
So Maxine, stop right there. That's where people are stuck at. They don't know.
They don't know.
They think they know, but they really don't know because they haven't tried so much and it didn't work out. Besides taking time to say, you know what, I truly believe this is it. And I need someone like Maxine to help me make sure this is it before I spend another 6 months, another 9 months, another year, and I'm still right where I really didn't grow at all this year. I'm still stuck.
Exactly, Sharon. And not only did not grow, but they could try to be growing in the wrong profession, in the wrong career path that does not even match who they are internally and what they have a love and desire to do. Because let's face it, after all, we had those dreams as a kid. We had those dreams as a teenager, but life got in the way once became an adult. Hello?
Yes. That's true. That's true. And now you got to, as I tell people, rediscover yourself. Find out, what is my value system now? And it doesn't matter at any age, you can start thinking about that. And I tell people there is a connection to age groups. whether you are a Z, a X, a Y, a season, a baby boomer, all of us have a connection, and we can learn from one another to grow together. Because
Yes.
someone that you need, that you are stuck because you really can't, your market may be a particular group that needs to learn how to set goals. And that does goal setting could be a Z, it could be a millennial, it could be an X, it could be a baby boomer, it could be someone getting ready to do their legacy goal setting. So those people can work together. And so we shouldn't get so stuck on seasoned, older people that's been out there doing it for 20 plus years compared to someone that's been doing it for 3 years. Now, if you've been doing goal setting, just say for 3 years, and you are making $300,000, you're doing good.
You know how to goal
great.
set, put it like that. You know how to do
Right.
it.
So I can hire you. It doesn't matter whether I am in my 50s or 40s or 60s. You have a skill set that's going to what? Take me to the next level. So let us have a conversation about that. And so too often we get stuck on age.
There you go.
On, well, that person is older. They don't think like that. You make an assumption. That person is seasoned and can help you get what you want. So if you are 30 and a person is 65 and can help you get to where you're trying to go, age doesn't matter. They have the skill set. Or if you're 65 and a person 30 have what you need, come to the table with, look, I'm building my legacy, and this is my last leg to retirement, because Social Security don't take all them other years in the place. Right. So I need for you to help me get my extra money, because they don't spend that.
Exactly.
I forgot they was going to spend my money. And so the two of you could come together, and that person can help you create a product or a service that can generate money while you sleep, on the weekend, on the holiday, while you retire, and you're still getting your check in.
I love it. I absolutely love it, because many times we are conditioned by society to think of this X, Y, Z, millennial, baby boomers. Someone had to categorize all of that. Well, ages existed a long time ago before someone put it into a category. So if you remove that category and you say, how can we collaborate? How can we partner? What can we do to help each other? And there's a win-win for all of us. And you start worrying about, this person's at 65, I'm 35. Let's learn from each other. If we are a constant learner, a lifelong learner, and if we ask ourselves, opposed to saying, what's in it for me? How can I help the next person? Because if someone is stuck, if you were to ask them that question, you might not even know they're stuck. But if you ask that question, that could be a door opener for that person to say, this is where I need help in. But at the person who needs help, let's go back to these assessments. You need to be assessed so you can evaluate what challenges are you faced with, so you know how to overcome those challenges, and then seek out a person who has those strengths. Seek out someone who has the wisdom and who's experienced. And that way, if someone asks you, how can I help you? You already know.
Thank you. And I was thinking about this analogy, Maxine. When you see a group of birds flying south for the winter, there's always one at the front that's leading the pack, right? They move.
Right.
But guess what? He don't go all the way. He come back around and say, look, I'm tired. I need somebody else to go out there and lead. And so they always rotated until they get to where they're at. Do you think all the birds the same age? No, they're not.
No.
They're not.
And they don't even think like we think.
That's right. All they know is we getting somewhere warm. So let us start our journey. So we as a group, okay, we're all here, different ages, different lifestyles, that the bird said. But there's one thing, we're going to start off with you. And when you get tired, you're going to go to the end, but you can lay back, and we're going to, somebody else going to take. But at the end, guess what? We're going to get there. It was never discussed, the fact of age.
Right.
You know what they discussed? we got to get there by this day and this time because
That's
we're
point.
going to be
That's a
cold if we
yes,
stay.
yes. I always think of the other analogy from when you start looking at corporations and you start looking at teams. You know, you have a leader, right? But the leader must also share the vision. Once the vision is shared, then everybody can understand what the vision is, and then therefore they know how to internalize it. Almost like you talking about that lead in the birds. They can internalize it, and then they'll know how their goals filters up to that leader's goal. The leader's goals should filter up to the organizational goals, and so it's the same formation. You got something that's leading, and the lead the way is the main goal. What's the goal of the organization? So we bring it back down to the individual. What's your goal?
What's your goal? And then the whole thing, what are you willing to do to get past up to get to that goal? Now, if you're not willing to make any sacrifices, we're going to be having this conversation 6 months, 9 months, a year. Before you know, it's 5 years, and you're like, dog, everybody else done moved on, and I'm here. And you're trying to recreate new information, and it wasn't the information at all.
It was validated.
That's right. It was, I don't want to do it this way. You wasn't willing to pivot, learn, and invest in someone else to show you. Now, I'm an advocate about please pay people. If you're trying to, and I tell people, if you're trying to, if you got a contract for $2,500 and you know you are not a good bookkeeper, and that bookkeeper is only charging you $200 a month to keep your books, to keep you out of trouble. But you just got a check for 25. You still got 23. And you're not in trouble. Your book's right. So don't try to be all for everything. Don't try to be the bookkeeper, the accountant, the social media person, the admin person, the content person. Well, the question I ask people, then who is running the company? Because honey, you got too many jobs. And you're like,
you're wearing too many hats.
Too many hats. And you're like, if I could just do this, then you need to do that and make that extra $200 so that person can do that for you, could be free to do what you need to do. And what I love about what you said, and you're not building any type of legacy. You don't work, and then you're like, I'm tired, I'm going to retire. Now what?
Yeah, and legacy can go down so many different, paths, when we start to, but I love the fact that you say you done worked all this time, now what? Because you need to understand what that now what is. There's a quote that I always use for my business. It says, career is a lifetime, but life is a project. There's a beginning date and an end date. So we will end on this earth. But while you're here, it's the dash that's going to make the difference. And that dash is your legacy. And so you need to be preparing for that. You need to be sharing that. You need to be doing that. You need to be mentoring. You need to be paying it forward. You need to not be stuck so people can understand what your vision and your mission is and what are you going to be known for when you are no longer here, and what are you going to be known for while you are here.
I like that. And that's why I really like, I could tell people your assessment is just something that I just recommend for business owners, people that's in their career path, to take the time and invest in. You got to understand who you are and to make sure you are in the right professional, whether you're in corporate America or you can own your own business and be in the wrong business. And you want to know why you're struggling, because you're doing something that you think going to make money. You're making candles because everybody say candles is hot and selling. But guess what? You don't like making candles. They don't look good. You know they don't look good, don't smell good. But guess what? Somebody told you that, hey, you can make a lot of money out of candles. And you just don't understand why you can't get it up. Because you didn't do the assessment, because the assessment didn't say that you need to make candles. The assessment said that you need to be in the business teaching people how to build their self to make the best product.
Yes.
Just so happened the product is a candle. But you don't need to be staying up late trying to make a product to put on your website named Candle and land. No, you don't need to do that. You need to be staying up, giving people the strategies and stuff so they can run a great candle shop, because you know how to do that. And what you have done is left your calling and skipped that. And now you got all these candles around your house and you're like, well, nobody buy. It wasn't your calling.
And don't try to follow someone else's footsteps. You need to create your own. And by understanding who you are, that's exactly what happens. Because many times if we're not careful and we don't know what our calling is and what direction we need to be taking in life, then anything will do. And that's not true. You need to know the environment. Even when you know your profession, you still have to look at what environment is going to be best. And that's going to appreciate who you are and what you bring to the table. And that's one of the things that the assessment does. And we talk about assessments, and we talk about this assessment, we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is an ability assessment. It's not a personality assessment. It's not a career assessment, but it's your ability assessment, the ones that you were born with, that you received when you were given the breath of life. And that's many times we don't know. And especially when it comes to our youth, we need to meet them at the crossroad so that they are going in the right direction at the earliest age possible. And so why not take advantage of that, parents, and start helping our youth to understand what career path they go into. What elective should they elect while they're in high school? Then they're going into college. Are they going into the military? They're going into a trade. But then as an adult, guess what? Sharon has a certification that you can take. You got the nonprofits, you got the entrepreneurship, you have the women mastermind groups, that development from a business perspective. So there's so many different avenues that you have sitting right here in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be stuck. Reach out to us.
You know, certification is the leading industry now. Having a degree is great. People are like, yes, we want a degree, but we also want you to know, what do you specialize in?
Yes.
Okay. What is it that you're really good at? Because when you go to college, you get the basic that you never use. I don't know why they make us take all them classes that we never use.
Right.
I ain't used geometry yet. Since I've been out, or some of them other classes, but they make you take it.
Right.
Okay. And so what you're looking for is, how do you strengthen what you are doing? And that's the focus that you know. What can I do to keep leveling up? And you should be always a constant learner and thinker at all times. And the other thing, Maxine, that you and I talk about, I think is so very important that a lot of people miss is giving back to your community, volunteering, being out there. Because when you're out there in the community, people see you not just as a business owner, but they see you as a human being, a person of compassion. So they know it's the same person. Therefore, they say, you know what, if I want to do assessment, I know, because I've seen Maxine interact with kids, interact with corporate America while she was out there doing back to school drive or a picnic or some function. I see that side of her laughing, smiling, giggling. I know when I come to her, what I'm going to get. So if I'm stuck and I'm looking for someone to give me what type of assessment? Ability.
Ability assessment, yes.
And what people don't understand, that's what, yes, you need the other ones. But if you don't know your ability, what you're supposed to be doing.
That's right.
You're like, I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like, I want to go to medical school, but I don't know what I want to do. And everybody, okay, now you can't operate on nobody. You can't write no prescription because you are confused.
Yes.
And so
the beautiful thing that you're talking about right there, Sharon, is to narrow it down. It's like a funnel. You need to just come on in and just narrow it down so that you know exactly what you're going to have the right career path. Right. Within that career path, you need to know the actual profession that you're going to go into, because medical is so broad. There's so many things you can do from the medical perspective. And even if you narrowed it down to dental, there's still so many things you can do on the dental side. And even accounting, there's still so many things you can do on the finance side. So you have to have some kind of way of funneling it down so it can become that one chosen profession that matches your everyday abilities and strengths that you do. And you're going to love what you do.
You know what, Max, I think it's, and I noticed this with a lot of people whenever I work with a focus group, when you ask them that question and they start looking up, that's your sign.
That's your sign.
That's your sign. When they start looking up, that's the sign to say it's going to fall out of the sky.
And it's not going to, if it falls out, it's going to be the wrong thing. It falls out.
So that's when you're supposed to lean into them and say, look, let us not come up with anything. Let us take these steps because you are stuck. And it's, and give them permission to be okay to being stuck there and give them permission to get unstuck. And then once they get the information back, now you can craft your implementation execution. But if you don't know the beginning, the foundation, how are you going to craft the other stuff?
That's right.
And I always share this, people. If this is a lifestyle you want to live over here, and your program, what I like about it, it mirrors getting past stuff, is because the long goal is to get the lifestyle I want. Yeah. Now you have a way to say, well, is it going to take me 6 months to get there, 3 years to get there, or 6 years to get there? Okay, so now you have helped me figure it out. Now you also help me figure out how long it's going to help me get there. Now I have a clear plan, and all I have to do is do the execution part of it to get there. But guess what? When you're going through that process, you may get stuck again because you're like, okay, wait a minute. I'm here. I don't have a strategy to move here. So I may need to make another phone call to talk through this with Maxine. They say, look, I see what you're saying, but before I move, I'm not sure.
That's right.
Let's talk through this and work through this, because I want to make sure I don't waste a lot of my time on a path because I missed a step. And that's just part of life. It's life is not smooth. It's ripples up and down. Things happen. But it's whenever you know, and whenever you're stuck, and then what you are doing, and I love to, you are trying to Google how to get past stuff. Pick up the telephone and ask a person, a human being that specializes, especially if it's the person that have helped you make your first amount of money, help you create the first plan. That's the person you need to go back to.
And Sharon, I have to admit that many of the clients that I started out with, I mean, you're talking about, I've been in business for 12 years. Mm-hmm. And some of my clients at 12 years, they've been with me for 12 years because they do exactly what you're talking about. You can, you work through one part of life and then everything running smooth, and all of a sudden, I need to go back to my coach. And so they know they can come back. I tell them, once you're part of the family, you're always a part of the family. And so they come back. I mean, and then, I see them grow. I see them get promotions. I see their kids now coming up, So you got all of these things, that the dynamics that's going on, which makes life really, really beautiful, because we both believe in the same thing. And that's building long-term relationships. Relationships are so essential to life, period, whether it's mentoring, whether it's coaching, or whether it's your friendship, or whether you just checking in on the person. All of that's so critical in life.
I'm glad you mentioned a long-term relationship. So often we get into the I syndrome because we get so focused on us, me, making money, me, making money. And what happened is me, making this money end up that you are working twice as hard. You think about people of wealth, like Oprah, Tyler Perry, Warren Buffett, the Gates, Amazon. Look how many partners they made in order to get where they're at. They didn't do everything on their own. They bought it. Think about BET, how 3 men came together to buy BET as partners. We have to start thinking as the mindset of people that's showing us how to do it. And we spend too much time trying to figure out how to do it for me. They're saying, wait a minute, if I have a group together, all of us can get there a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, and everybody can make it and get paid. And so we should always be thinking about how we can do it together as a team, as partners, as collaborators, as your tribe, whatever you want to call yourself. The earlier you start that process, the quicker you're going to get to your finished product and stuff, because you have more people talking about it and working with you. And that's one thing I learned from your assessment is that collaboration component that's so very important that people miss out on.
Oh, definitely. They definitely miss that, because what you just indicated is always about me, me, me. We always come with this, what's in it for me, WIIFM, what's in it for me. And we have to get beyond those letters and that acronym, and then reverse it to say, hey, how can I help you? Because it's a win-win. There are enough people in this world for everybody. And Sharon, I think you already have the number. How many billions of people in the world?
It's 1.2 billion people in the world. You cannot serve them all.
We can't serve them all. So stop trying to think you can, and collaborate and build partnerships and build these long-term relationships is so essential. And not only that, I always have to reach back and say, let's mentor. Let's mentor each other. Let's also look at our youth and bring them along the way, because they have to learn just like we had to learn. And let's not have them to go hit this brick wall and then not know how to penetrate to get through it, around it, under it, whatever they need to do. But if we serve as mentors and we go back to the community and become community engaged, then we're out there and we can help and transform generations and leave our legacy.
Because you think about, even whenever you go to functions, people ask you, what do you do? But guess what? When you're in the community and you start talking to people, they're like, what do you do? Because you're talking a certain way, they're like, well, what do you do? And now guess what? They're like, oh my goodness, I know somebody that can use you. For one, they see you in a more relaxed environment. They see you not in corporate America. So when corporate America don't dress up like they used to, but you actually out there doing something. And they're like, well, what do you do? People ask that as a form of communication, trying to get to know you, how many children you have, trying to see, we're fitting to swap doctor saying, hey, look, how many children you have? Because, I'm thinking I need another doctor for my child, and I'm thinking about this. You're going to say, well, I use this person right here. They excellent. Guess what? Do you think anybody Google another doctor? No, they do not. People talk to other folks, and that's how they find out who they're going to use. I was at church, and someone said that to me, asked me a question. Hey, look, I need an attorney, Sharon, that does this right now. Who do you know? And so I told them, they're like, I said, I'm going to send their information to you. They're like, thank you. I'm calling them in the morning. Do you think they wouldn't Google anybody? Do you think they even went and Google who I told them? No, they did not. They were like, thank you. I'm calling them. That was it.
Because what we learn all the time, people would work with those who they know, like, and trust. And so if they're coming to you and asking you for a referral, they're taking your word. They're trusting you immediately. And the same thing with Sharon and I. When we're doing these podcasts and we bring guests on, that's an automatic validation that we trust this person, because we are having this person, we're sharing this person with our audience.
Right.
Their knowledge, their wisdom, and the experience that they bring, and the certifications. We want you to go to her website and start looking at the certifications that Sharon offers and see how can they help you. Don't sit there and be stuck and not take advantage of all these services that we're talking about here, right here on the Life Strategy Show. Because after all, in life, we need to have a strategy so we can continue to move forward and we're not stuck. So Sharon, as we start going through our closing, remarks, what would be the final strategy you'd like to leave with the audience?
Move.
That makes me think of dancing.
Move with not knowing. You don't have to have the answer. Pick up the phone. You could go to my website, www.thesharoncampbell.com. Go to Maxine website. Do something. Just do not sit there and say, well, let me try this. Let me Google this. Move. Ask for help. The best advice I could tell anyone. Ask for help. And to call someone say no, that's just one person. There's 1.2 billion people. And then the other pay people.
Pay the person.
You want people to pay you. This person fit to get you past stuff. Pay him.
I know, Sharon, when I go through the resumes and they want me to do the resume for them, and then I tell them what the fee service is. Now I'm helping a person get $120,000 for annually, right? And then they have a hard time paying me for the resume building or the interviewing that's going to come next. But, hello, Houston, we have a problem. So
the problem is You don't want that $100,000 job.
You don't want that $120,000 job, or even a $20,000 job if you don't have a job. So if we put it in perspective, not everyone can get a $120,000 job. I understand that, but sometimes we have to get our foot through the door, and getting our foot through the door we go entry level, and then we start building on itself. I have plenty of my clients who started out like that, but trust me, they've been with some companies like 10 years, and they are doing very well. They chose the career that they wanted. They're getting a salary that they desired, and now they're living a lifestyle that they deserve. So hello, at the end of the day, that's what I said that would happen, and that's what's happening.
And they did that because they got past stuff.
They got past stuff.
Well, Maxine, I want to thank you so very much for allowing me to be part of your show, and especially strategies. I think it means so much that people must know. They must have some strategies, and they must implement them and stay on the path, and stop jumping from path to path, from wing to wing, from fad to fad. For you think someone say I can help you make 7 figures. Well, you know what? I don't want to make 7 figures. I want to make 10 figures. So what you can do for me? Yeah, when I hear people say I can help you make 7 figures, well, I don't want to make 7 figures. I want to make 10. So what you gonna do for me?
I know that's right, Sharon. It always brings me back to my levelers mindset model, right? Because in levelers, there are no levels.
Right.
So with the mindset, it's not about the 6 figures. It's about continue to succeed. And whatever life takes you and however much money you can make that money. Don't put a number on it. Don't put a cap on it or a ceiling on it. It's for you to continue to be successful. Don't let anybody change your way of thinking.
I've never figured out why somebody came up with 7-figure income. I'm just like, well,
tagline, just a tagline. But we're more than a tagline. Hello, we bring reality to you.
Reality.
And you actually see it and work it, so that's the beautiful thing. Well, listen, I have truly enjoyed having you today, Sharon, and thank you so much. And I look forward to having you back. I always invite my guests back because, listen, my viewing audience does not get enough of all this great information. And anytime we can help them become unstuck with strategies, that's what it's all about.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Maxine. See you soon.
See you soon. Well, thank you for joining the Life Strategy Show. It has truly been an honor having Sharon here with us today. I want to invite you back next week. Right before I close, I always say, come back. Same station, same time. I believe in you, and I trust you believe in yourself. Until next week, and until next time, have a great day.
Taking a chance.